Hello everybody, how are you doing? I'm just out in the shop. Really, I'm just trying to straighten up a little bit. Little by little, I've been picking things up. It's getting better. It's not where it needs to be, but I thought tonight, I had a few minutes, I was gonna go ahead and try to pick as much stuff up and put it away so the shop looks somewhat neat. My dad's coming in this weekend and he'll want to check out the shop, and I don't want it to be a total wreck. Of course, if he watches my videos at all, he'll know what it looks like 90% of the time. But, that's another story. So anyway, I'm going to clean for a little bit, and hopefully I'll have time after that to maybe turn one of these pins I've got going. I'd like to turn at least one tonight. I'm thinking maybe the heart pin. We'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys posted. Hello, everybody. It is Saturday night, about 6:15. I started this video the other day, and I was cleaning the shop in preparation for a visit from my family. I just want to straighten things up a little bit. I got it straightened up, and we had our visit, wonderful visit, and wanted to give you a quick look around the shop and show you what it looks like. John Giselle sent this to me, and this is absolutely amazing. I can't wait to turn these. These are incredible. Look at that. I am going to go and pick a special blank for those. That'll be next Thursday or Friday. I don't know exactly which day, but I'll pick a blank for those. I got some other stuff here I've been working on, lots of little odd end projects. Let me back up a little bit and give you a wide angle, but that's just sort of my new work table where I put the light the other day. And I'm just using that as sort of a base of operation for setting up and building any of my pin blanks that I'm working on. Got the scroll saw right beside there. It's not being used right now. My jointer is right here, a little stool that I like to sit on. One of my tripods, I've got some wood in the back, a few miscellaneous tools back there, clamps hanging from the ceiling. There's some more clamps there. My ladder, which is actually my tripod for the camera when I'm turning on the lathe. This is, of course, my planer. I've got my router here and my little bandsaw right here. That's not running yet. That uses 220. I need to wire that up probably right after I get the dust collector going. Take a look at the floor, especially over here below the jointer. I've got that cleaned up. Below the planer, this is all clean. I've got a low-speed grinder for my Wolverine sharpening system, which is here on the end of my lathe table. I need to go ahead and get that swapped out and get it set up for that grinder. Got a receiver, a stereo receiver I need to get put in the shop. This is kind of neat. This right here, the back plane with the tape holders and the piece up front here for holding these spools of sandpaper was made for me by Guy Dunlap at Guy's Workshop. And he made that during a collaboration we did at Mike Fulton's place, and Corey Irwin from Black Widow Woodworks also joined us there. I modified it a little bit. I got tired of looking for, my cone, my 60-degree cone center, my Jacobs chuck. I got tired of digging for this stuff, so I took a piece of scrap wood and mounted it on the top of there, made a little shelf, drilled some holes so these things don't roll away. Got a couple of screws for different calipers and things. I did the same thing down at the bottom, put a couple of screws in. These are my turning tools. I use these for making tenons of all different sizes. And right here below the sandpaper, I opened a new box of sandpaper. You can see there's several new rolls over there, and it had one of these little tear-off lips on it. So I just shot a couple of screws in there. There used to be a hacksaw blade on here, but it was dull and I couldn't tear the paper. These are the tools for my my chuck, and then of course I have my centering tool up there. That allowed me to clean out my cabinet, and I'm really happy with this. I got some of my Wolverine jigs in there. I've got most of my cleaning supplies, my polishes, things that I use while I'm turning. Up top, I've got some Abranet, different things up there. So really happy with this cabinet being cleaned out. Let me back up a little bit. I've got a small lathe there that I need to get working again. The potentiometer's dead on it. I don't have a potentiometer for it, but I did buy a speed control that I'm going to put on. Here's my main turning table. And a lot of you guys have probably seen this. Let me get a hold of it in the middle there, but that's just my drawer of tools. That's something I'm really, really happy with. But that's my little lathe setup. Got the little Rockler dust collection system there. At the end of the table, we talked about this a minute ago, I've got my Wolverine sharpening system. Love it. I have my drill press right here, and I use the heck out of that. I really like the drill press. A lot of guys ask me why I don't drill on the lathe, and the main reason why is this lathe over here. I've talked about it a couple of times. The tailstock on it it's just not, see how it's got a little bit of play in it? Even when you lock it down, it doesn't seem to stay as steady as I would like it. And I tend to drill off center a little bit, which makes wobbly holes. So I prefer to drill on the drill press until I can replace that lathe and get a little nicer lathe. Here's a larger lathe here. Let me get around the other side. This is a Delta Rockwell lathe. And it's not a bad lathe. I used it on one project. I don't really use it often. I actually have this lathe for sale. It's kind of tough to get far enough back to show the whole lathe. I've been trying to sell it. I've got my miter saw down here, just kind of out of the way on this wall over here. And I want to get the lathe out of the way to free up some room, but I got a cabinet where there's just a bunch of screws and bolts and nuts in there. Of course, I have these drawers that are full of all types of nuts, bolts, screws, just fasteners, all kinds of stuff. Some miscellaneous stuff needs to be put away. That's just a window out of the shop. I'll be using that soon for my air conditioner. A little further down, I've got a cabinet here, and this cabinet, kind of embarrassed to show you this one, but maybe this will be the impetus for me to clean it up. I've been using this for storage of paints, stains, paints, finishes, lots and lots of screws down there. So that's really messy. I've got my sander right here. Love it. I got my little sanding jig here. You've seen this in a lot of videos. That thing is amazing. Thank you, Robert Montgomery. I got my oscillating spindle sander here. My little Shopmaster bandsaw, Delta bandsaw there. It's a cheapie, but it gets the job done. Cabinets below here. Pull this open. I've got that right there is my large router. That is a DeWalt router. Got my sander over there, the drill, just a bunch of miscellaneous tools down at the bottom. Over on the right, there's a couple of nail guns. I think one of them's in there. The other one is, it's around the shop somewhere. These drawers just contain a bunch of stuff. This is just miscellaneous junk items that I use. I'm always looking for some chain or some cable or a piece of wire or some shims, and that's just where I keep miscellaneous stuff like that. Whoops, something's over there. This is my carving drawer, and I keep a lot of my carving supplies in here. I haven't done much carving. From time to time I carve, but it's just not one of the things that I do on a real regular basis. And the bottom drawer is just literally junk. It's anything that I didn't really have a place for anywhere else. So that needs to probably be gone through and cleaned out. Back up a little bit. I've got my table saw right here. I like it here because I can turn it just a tiny bit if I've got a large board and go right out the door. And as you can see, I've got enough room. I could bring a 4x8 sheet of plywood in here, and I could stand back here, and I'm a little over 8 feet away right now. And if I crank that toward the door, I can push it and go right out the door with it. So this is a great position. This wall back here is now empty. I've got my dust deputy sitting back there, and I've got the canister for my dust collector. That needs to get parted out and thrown away. But this is where my dust collector used to be, and I'm thinking maybe French cleats on that wall with different types of hangers. Different hanging mechanisms to be able to put some tools up, especially table saw tools. Got my new shop vac down here. It's hooked to the dust deputy, and then of course the hoses run all over the garage. Oh, here's something. My Christmas present came in today. Mom and Dad brought it with them. When they were down here for Christmas last year, my dad got the notification that this package delivered. On Christmas Eve, it delivered to his front porch. It's 20 pounds of sandpaper from Cleansport. So it's just been waiting. I haven't seen them since Christmas, so I wasn't able to get it. So finally got a hold of that. Real happy about that. As we work around the garage a little bit more, I've got, this is another cooler box that I need to build in an assembly video. And in the bottom of there is all of the parts for it, the drain and all that stuff. I need to buy a cooler, and that's it. There's my other pin nailer. And we're back around to the door. That's just a quick shop tour for you guys. Up top, you can see, of course, I've got my dust collector. There's miscellaneous tools scattered where I've been working. I got to get back up there. I got some lights right there, a couple of lights. I'm thinking about one of them over here and one of them up top there eventually when I do some wiring. There's a bunch of other miscellaneous stuff up there that's really all out of place because I'm working on the dust collector. So once I get the dust collector finished up, I'll start working on cleaning that area back up, and hopefully I'll get back to that really soon. And then of course on this end of the loft is where I keep all of my wood for my projects, turning and targes, whatever I want to work on. And there's a shelf along the back that has some larger boards. And that's pretty much the nickel tour of the shop. There's a few things I want to do, you know, but we always want to change things. I'm trying to make it more efficient. I'm trying to increase the space by removing a lot of the clutter, and hopefully I can get rid of this lathe pretty soon. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So I'm out here and I've got this blank. And I think what I'm going to do is take my time now and attempt to get this blank turned into a pin. Well, guys, I finished turning the heart pin. For the next couple of seconds, I'm going to throw a photo of it up on the screen. I hope you enjoyed that. That's all I have. And the reason why that's all I have is because I presented that pin. I made it for my daughter. And as soon as I got done, I couldn't wait to give it to her. It turned out amazing. It looks so amazing. So I called her out to the shop. I pulled a little trick on her and I gave her the pin. And if you want any more information than that, you're gonna have to hang on till the video comes out. I'm gonna go in the house now. It's 10 minutes after 8. I'm gonna go in the house, upload this video. I'll get it out to you guys. And then I'll start working on the video for the pin build. I've got everything done up to what I did today, but I'll go ahead and get that edited. We'll get it uploaded and scheduled. And it'll probably come out. I have a pin video coming out. Oh, sorry about the lighting. I have a pin video coming out next Friday that's already scheduled. This will be the following Friday. So you have to wait a little bit, but it'll be worth it. All right, guys, take care. Have a great evening, and thanks for hanging out with me. I'll talk to you again real soon.